In this very breath you are taking, I am speaking directly to you. Not to the crowd, not to everyone listening, but to you, the one who has been carrying questions that no one else knows about. These words are reaching the place inside you that has waited, questioned, and at times wondered if this season of waiting would ever come to an end. I have not come to repeat everything that has already happened. I have come to tell you about what is now unfolding before you. The moment you are living in is not an ordinary one. It was prepared long before you stepped into it. I was already here, making it ready for you. You have sensed it, haven't you? A gentle stirring you could not explain. A quiet pull inside your spirit, as though something greater than your present situation was drawing close. That is not your imagination, my child. That is my voice reaching your heart. This is how I have always spoken to you. Not through loud displays or overwhelming force, but through a quiet whisper within, a deep knowing that comes before your mind can explain it. Today that quiet leading has brought you here, to this place and to these words. I want you to understand something. You were never forgotten while you waited. The seasons that felt empty, the long nights that seemed endless, the prayers that appeared to disappear into silence, none of those moments meant I had left you. Every one of them carried purpose. I was never far away. I was closer than you realized. I was working where your eyes could not see, preparing things that were hidden from you. I was building something strong for your future, even while it seemed as though nothing around you was changing. There were things you laid aside during the journey, my child. Dreams you convinced yourself were beyond your reach. Hopes you quietly placed away because you believed they belonged to someone else. Little by little, you accepted less than what your heart truly desired. And you called that being wise. But I want you to know those desires were never foolish. They were never yours alone. I was the one who placed them inside you. I wove them into the person I created you to be. And they have never disappeared. I have been keeping them safe. My beloved, I see how tired you have become. I am not asking you to pretend that awareness does not exist. I know every burden you have carried. I know the loads you accepted that were never meant to belong to you. I know the expectations others placed upon your shoulders. I know the words that caused you to see yourself as smaller than you truly are. I know the silent sadness you carried even during your brighter days. And today I tell you that this is the moment I begin lifting those burdens from you. You are standing before a doorway unlike any you have known before. This is fresh ground, prepared especially for this exact season of your life. I am standing here with you at its entrance, waiting for you to move forward. Not to hurry you, not to expect you to come without questions or fear, but to walk beside you through every single step. This is no longer a season of waiting. This is the season of arrival. Everything that was being prepared is now ready. Everything that was being held back is beginning to be released. The people I have been shaping, the opportunities I have been arranging, the blessings I have been storing for you, they are all beginning to appear. And they will not come the way you imagined. They will be better. Not a smaller version of your hopes, but something greater, carefully formed by my own hand and perfectly suited to the life I planned for you from the beginning. So do not pull away now, my child. Do not step back from the goodness that is coming simply because you became familiar with hardship. Let yourself receive. Open your heart once again. I am not asking you to erase the difficult road behind you. I am asking you to believe that every difficult step brought you somewhere real, somewhere worth reaching. This breath you are taking now, it marks a new beginning. The old chapter is ending. A new chapter has already begun. And I am already there, waiting to welcome you. I know the questions you have quietly carried. Why did some things never work out? Why did the people you trusted let you down? Why did seasons of faithful effort seem to produce so little? My child, I do not leave those questions unanswered forever. I am bringing understanding to you now. Not all in one moment, but little by little, like the sunrise filling a room until every corner is touched by light. The answers are coming, and when they do, you will see that even the hardest parts of your story were written with care. There is something rising inside your spirit. Even now there is a quiet expectancy pressing against the limits of the life you have grown used to. That feeling is not restlessness. It is readiness. I placed it there. It is the sign that your next season is not only possible, it is near, much nearer than you can fully believe today. But you will see it, and when you do, you will understand why I asked you to keep holding on. Why I asked you to trust me, when trust seemed to be the hardest thing left to give. Nothing about the road behind you was wasted. Every step had value. Every difficult mile shaped something inside you that you will need for what is coming next. You are ready, my child. Far more ready than you realize. Now I want to speak to something that has stayed hidden inside you for a long time. The quiet question of whether your life truly matters. Not the way you would ever say it aloud, because you have learned to hide that question. You have learned to appear confident even while uncertainty remained inside. But I know that question. I have heard it during your quiet nights. I have heard it between your words. I have seen it in those moments when you hesitated before taking the next step. Today I want to settle it completely. You are not here by chance. Not in this world. Not in this moment. I created you with purpose. Everything about you, the way you think, the depth of your heart, the gifts that are still waiting to grow, every part of you was formed by my hand with intention and for a purpose. You are not an accident. You are not too much. You are not too little. You are exactly the person I intended to create. That has never changed. The words spoken over your life by others, the ones that made you feel smaller, the ones that told you to expect less, the ones that defined you by failure instead of by my design, those words hold no authority over you. I am the one who gives you your true identity, and the name I speak over you is never shaped by your hardest season or your greatest mistake. It is shaped by my unchanging love and by my purpose that remains steady no matter what changes around you. My precious child, your worth does not rise when people approve of you or fall when they reject you. It does not grow because of success or disappear because of disappointment. You are fully loved without condition. Not because of what you have accomplished, but because you belong to me. And to me, you are beyond replacement. No one else can take the place I created especially for you. No one else carries your exact gifts, your unique calling, or your special part in the greater story I am writing across this world. And that story is still unfolding. Do not let anyone persuade you that the greatest part of your story is already behind you. The people who believed your season had ended were mistaken. Those who looked at your life and decided there was no hope could only see what was in front of them. I see what is already unfolding. I see what has been prepared. I see the doors that are ready to open, the relationships that are about to begin, and the breakthrough already making its way toward you even as you hear these words. Listen carefully, my child. There is someone whose journey is being guided toward yours. For a long time I have been arranging this meeting, leading two different paths toward the same moment. You could never have made this happen yourself. You did not put it together. I did, and when it comes, you will recognize it. Not because it arrives with great attention or excitement, but because your spirit will quietly know with complete peace. This is the person I have been waiting for. This is the connection I could never have created by myself. I prepared this for you, and it is on its way. So do not close your heart before it arrives. Do not allow the people who wounded you yesterday to steal the joy I have prepared for your tomorrow. The walls you built to protect yourself have also blocked some of the blessings I wanted to bring into your life. I am not asking you to ignore wisdom or trust carelessly. I am asking you to stay open. Open to what I am preparing. Open to the unexpected ways my goodness may appear. Open to receiving the very things you quietly longed for, but eventually stopped asking me for. While you are waiting for what is ahead, remember what you have already come through. You have walked through seasons that could have crushed you. You carried sorrow that felt impossible to bear. You remained standing in places where you were overlooked and underestimated, yet you kept moving forward. That is not something small. That kind of strength did not come from you alone. I have been beside you through every one of those moments. Every time you chose to stand again, when staying down would have been easier, I saw it. Every time you answered with kindness when bitterness seemed justified, I witnessed it. You remained faithful in places where no one applauded you, and faithfulness that grows in hidden places is never wasted. Declare your amen if this word belongs to you today. The road before you is being illuminated one step at a time. You do not need to see the entire journey today. You only need to take the next step in the light I provide. And I will always give that light. Enough for this moment, always reaching just ahead of the place where your next step belongs. I will not allow you to lose your way in darkness. I will never leave you to walk by yourself. My presence goes before you, remains behind you, and surrounds you wherever you go. You are held, truly held, by hands nothing can pull apart. There are prayers you offered many years ago that you stopped watching for. You released them and continued living because you believed the answer would never come. I want you to know those prayers reached me. I forgot none of them. I kept every one, and now I am answering them in the proper order, at the proper time, and in ways even better than what you first imagined. When those answers begin to appear, they will feel strangely familiar, like hopes you once carried, but no longer believed could become real. And in that moment you will know that I heard you. I have always heard you. Not one word you spoke toward me has ever been lost. Every sincere prayer, every unfinished cry, every quiet whisper of my name in the darkness mattered to me. Every one of them is bringing fruit in this season. My child, I know there are still things you need to release. Not because carrying them makes you weak, but because your hands are holding so much that there is no room for what I want to place inside them. You have continued holding on to certain outcomes, certain people, and a picture of life that unfolded differently than you expected. As understandable as that has been, it has also taken away part of your peace. I am not asking you to stop caring. I am asking you to stop trying to control. Those are not the same thing. A caring heart is something I placed inside you. It reflects love and faithfulness. But holding on because fear tells you nothing will remain if you let go, that is the burden I want to remove today because I am here, and I will hold you. I have never failed anyone who trusted me, and I will not begin with you. Now let me speak clearly about what has slowed you down. There are still voices echoing inside your heart. Old voices. Some belong to people who left your life long ago. Others belong to the frightened person you once were. Those voices tell you that you are not enough. They tell you that you have gone too far to recover. They tell you that the blessings belong to someone else. Someone more worthy, more prepared, more complete. I tell you now that those voices are false. They do not speak for me. They never have. My voice tells you something different. My voice says you are enough. My voice says the road before you leads to something good. My voice says those blessings belong to you. This is the time to put down what you have carried for too long. Not little by little. Not halfway. Completely. Place it before me. Your worry about tomorrow, your pain from yesterday, the disappointment that never truly healed, the dream you buried because hoping became too painful. Lay it all before me. I am here to receive it. And as you release it, you will notice something changing inside you, a lighter spirit, an open place where new life can begin to grow. My child, I am asking you to place a portion of what you have, something of real weight upon the altar of this work as gold laid on the scales of this calling. Let it be a seed sown into deep water, an offering set on stone, not held back in fear. This is proof that your trust rests in my hand to provide, and that your heart no longer clings to lack. What you release in faith does not leave your life. It moves ahead of you into the harvest I am preparing. My child, letting go is not losing. Whatever you place into my hands is never wasted. It increases. Whatever you surrender with trust does not make your life smaller. It makes room for greater things. The days ahead are not marked by lack. They are marked by abundance. But abundance cannot fill hands that refuse to let go of what they already hold. So open your hands. Open your heart. Let the old things fall away and make room for what I am bringing. I am leading new people into your life. People you have never met before, whose arrival will feel strangely familiar, as though your spirit recognized them before your eyes did. Relationships that will strengthen you instead of draining you, that will bring out the best within you while allowing you to bring out the best within them. What I am describing to you is not chance. These are moments I have carefully arranged, each one set in place at exactly the right time. I have been leading these lives toward yours with a precision that only I possess. And when they finally arrive, you will understand why your journey turned where it did, why certain chapters had to close before these new ones could begin. There are doors that have remained closed for many years. Doors where you stood knocking again and again without receiving an answer. Doors you finally walked away from because the silence became too painful to keep facing. But I tell you now, my child, some of those very doors are about to open. Not because you discovered a better way to knock, but because the appointed time has arrived. My timing has never followed yours. What seemed endless from where you stood was only a carefully measured season in my plan, and that season is now coming to its end. The days of closed doors are giving way to days of open ones. You will not have to force them open. You will not have to struggle or plead. They will open before you. Simply keep walking. The people you love, the ones you continually bring before me in prayer, the ones whose future has often kept you awake through the night. I see them as well. My work is not limited to your life alone. I am also moving within theirs. The answers you have long hoped to see in those you love are already beginning to unfold. Trust them to me. Take them out of the hands of your worry and place them into my care, where they are far safer than they could ever be in yours. I can reach places where you cannot. I can heal what you cannot touch. I can restore what seemed impossible to restore. Nothing is beyond my power. Nothing at all. So I tell you, my child, stop rehearsing every fearful possibility. Stop treating your fears as though they are promises about tomorrow. They are not promises, they are fear, and fear has never been my voice. My voice speaks life, never dread. My voice speaks hope, never impossibility. When anxious thoughts come, and they will come, learn to recognize them for what they truly are, then bring them to me. I will replace them with something stronger, a quiet trust that does not depend on every circumstance working out perfectly. Because deep inside you will know that I am working faithfully in every situation, weaving all things together for your good, holding every part of your life securely in my wise, faithful, and sovereign hands. There is something taking place inside you that your natural thinking cannot fully explain. Your way of seeing is changing. Clarity is growing where confusion once remained. The noise that once drowned out deeper things is becoming quieter. Do not talk yourself out of it. Do not assume you are imagining it. What you are sensing is real. I am working within you, putting things into their proper place, removing what was never meant to remain and restoring what always belonged. This process is not always easy. I want to tell you that honestly. When old things are being removed, you may feel unsettled, almost as though the ground beneath you has shifted, as though the person you used to be no longer fits the person you are becoming. Some of the beliefs you once held about yourself are being taken apart. Some of the ways you relied on for years are no longer enough. That can feel uncomfortable, sometimes even frightening. But hear me, my child. Nothing is going wrong. Everything is moving exactly as it should. Remember the young servant in the holy place who heard his name called during the quiet of the night. At first he did not realize it was my voice speaking to him. He went to someone he trusted, someone familiar, and he was told, "Return, lie down again, and if you hear the voice once more, answer like this: I am listening. Speak, because I am ready to hear you." That is the posture I am inviting you to embrace today. Do not struggle to create an answer on your own. Do not run from one voice to another trying to explain what you sense inside yourself. Simply turn toward me and say, "I am here. I am listening. Speak to me." Because I have been speaking. Those quiet impressions you keep receiving, the ones that seem almost too gentle to matter, they are from me. The feeling that change is drawing near. The unexpected peace that comes in the middle of hardship. The gentle pull toward a certain direction that you cannot fully explain but somehow know is right. None of those are accidents. They are my voice reaching you through the very places inside you that I created for this purpose. Long ago one of my servants heard me, not through thunder, not through an earthquake, not through blazing fire, but through a quiet, gentle sound. It was so soft that, without careful attention, it could easily have been missed. That is often how I speak. Not through what is loud and overwhelming, but through what is quiet and certain. In this season I am inviting you to become more aware of that voice. Slow yourself enough to hear the gentle whispers. Trust the impressions that arrive without great display. Some of the greatest things I have ever spoken were carried in almost complete silence. My beloved, I am not far away from you. I am not watching your life from some distant place. I am close. I am here. Right in the middle of the life you are living now, present in the ordinary moments and in the unseen places. As you move through your day and something quietly shifts inside your spirit, when peace comes without explanation, or sudden understanding arrives about a decision you have been wrestling with, that is me. Recognize me in those moments. Acknowledge them. They are not coincidences. They are encounters with me. The work I am doing inside you is not about turning you into someone else. It is about bringing forward the person I created you to be from the beginning. The layers placed over your true identity by life itself, the armor, the pretending, the carefully controlled image, those things are slowly being removed. What remains beneath them is not damaged. It is not something to be ashamed of. It is the original design I created, still whole, still carrying everything I placed inside you, waiting for the right season to be fully revealed. What I am bringing out of your life will carry influence in the lives of others. The hardships you endured, the trials that refined your heart, the losses that created deeper places within you, the waiting that produced patience and wisdom no easy road could ever give. None of those things were wasted. They were preparing you not only to flourish yourself, but to become a source of hope for others. Your story was never meant for you alone. The way it unfolds will encourage people who are still walking through their own difficult chapters. Speak your yes if you believe these words are for you. Do not ignore what is rising inside your heart. Do not explain it away. Do not wait until every question has been answered before you begin to move. Faith is not having every certainty. Faith is taking the next step in the direction of what I have spoken, even when you cannot yet see the whole picture. Right now, I am asking you to take the next step. Just one step into the next part of your journey, taken with trust. Even if your hands still tremble a little, I am beside you in that step. I always have been. Life has shaped you through things that were not easy. The quiet hardships you carried. The moments when others overlooked you even though you deserved to be noticed. The deep loneliness you felt even while surrounded by people. Every one of those experiences formed something within you. They built endurance, depth, and a compassion for hurting people that only those who have suffered can truly carry. These are not small gifts. They are among the greatest treasures a life can hold. And in the season ahead, none of them will be wasted. They will become the very things that help you fulfill the work I have prepared for you. My child, I want to show you something about the way I move. It may change how you have been looking at your life. Long ago, I was bringing together two men whose lives appeared completely unrelated. One was devoted to seeking me through prayer, a respected leader among his people, with a household that sincerely honored me. The other was one of my followers in another city, being prepared through a vision he did not yet understand. Neither one knew what I was arranging. Neither could see the whole picture. Yet I held both of their lives in my hands, leading them toward one meeting that would forever change what they believed was possible. That is how I work. I bring lives together. I prepare meetings no person could arrange. I set moments in place that can only be explained by my hand. And my child, I want you to understand this. I do not show favoritism. I reach every heart. I move in every place and across every distance. No one is too far away, too unnoticed, or too ordinary for me to reach. The relationships I prepare are not ordinary moments. They become turning points. They change the direction of a life. Some of what I am sending into your life will come through people. They will appear when you least expect them, carrying what you have needed and opening doors you never knew were there. I am already preparing them. I have already been leading their lives toward yours. They may not yet know where they are being led, but I do. I am bringing both of you to the same place at exactly the right time. You do not have to force this. You do not have to create it yourself. Simply stay open, stay present, and pay attention to what I place before you. I want to restore what was taken from you. I want you to hear this clearly because I know there are places in your past where the pain of loss still remains. Relationships that ended too soon. Opportunities that slipped through your hands. A sense of belonging that disappeared. Joy that once came naturally but now feels far away. I have seen every one of those losses. None of them escaped my notice. And I am not only giving you comfort about them. I am restoring what truly matters. It may not always return in the exact form it once had. Often what I restore becomes even better than what came before. When that goodness reaches you, you will recognize it. And you will know it came from me. There are dreams still living inside you. Dreams that once filled you with excitement. Dreams that felt connected to who you truly are until disappointment or difficult seasons caused you to stop caring for them. You tucked them away carefully, like something precious you could not throw away, even though you no longer believed it belonged to you. My child, those dreams have not been rejected. I placed them inside you. The fact that they have not yet appeared does not mean they are gone. They have simply been waiting. And this is the season they have been waiting for. What I am bringing into your life will require you to believe again. It will ask you to reach for what you stopped reaching toward. At first it may feel unfamiliar, like placing weight on a leg that has rested for too long. There may be hesitation. There may be uncertainty. You may wonder if it is only your imagination. It is not. This is real. This is the life I planned for you from the beginning, now coming into its fullness. And as you move forward, I will make your steps stronger. I will never place you where you cannot stand. I will lead you into this new season little by little, with kindness, with patience, and with care. My beloved, I have heard every prayer. The ones spoken with confidence. The ones spoken through pain, when you were not even sure they would matter but prayed anyway. Every unfinished cry you whispered after a long day, when finding words felt impossible. I understand the language of your heart better than you understand any spoken language. Every word you have ever directed toward me has been received. None of it has been wasted. Even now, the answers are coming together, like pieces being assembled in a room you cannot yet enter. You cannot yet see the complete picture, but the work is already taking place. And when the door finally opens, and you see what I have prepared, it will be more complete and more beautiful than you ever imagined. That is how my promises come. They do not arrive incomplete, they arrive whole. Hold this truth in your heart today if you believe I am able. My child, you were created for this very time. Not for yesterday, not for some distant future, For this season, with all of its unique opportunities and responsibilities, I made no mistake in placing you here. Your arrival was never an accident. You are neither too early nor too late. You are exactly where I intended you to be, carrying exactly what this moment requires. And I want you to rest in that. Not the kind of rest that depends on everything becoming easy, but the deeper rest that knows I remain in control even when life feels difficult. The rest that quietly says, I do not understand everything, but I know the one who does, and I know he is good. That rest is yours today. Not sometime in the future when every problem is solved. Today, right in the middle of everything that is still unfinished and uncertain, I offer you that peace, and it will sustain you. A new era is beginning in your life, my child. I do not use those words carelessly. I do not mean a small adjustment or a short season of relief. I mean something deep is changing. The pattern of your days, the opportunities before you, the people who will walk beside you, and the purpose that will shape everything you do. This is a true new era. One day you will look back and say, that was the moment everything changed. That was when the long season of waiting became the season of harvest. During this season, I am revealing what has been hidden. I am uncovering truths about who you are that have been buried beneath years of other people's opinions and your own doubts about yourself. You will begin to see yourself as you truly are. Not greater than you are, and not less, but with clear and honest vision. You will notice the gifts I placed inside you long ago, the ones you struggled to believe in because your circumstances kept speaking against them. As your circumstances begin to change, understanding will come. First about your identity, then about your purpose, and finally about the steps I am asking you to take. I am also bringing understanding into the situations that have puzzled you. The things that seemed impossible to explain. The mixed signals. The closed doors that appeared to oppose the promises I had spoken. The distance between what I told you and what you actually lived. That distance is coming to an end. What I spoke over your life has not been withdrawn. It was never incorrect. It was simply waiting for the right time. And that time has arrived. Everything I whispered to you in those early moments, in the quiet places, when your heart was most ready to hear me, I am now bringing each promise to fulfillment. Watch carefully. The people around you will begin to notice something different. Not because you tell them anything has changed, but because the change within you will show itself in the way you live. There is something that settles over a person who has truly stopped striving and begun trusting. A steady spirit. A clear heart. A quiet confidence that has no need to defend itself. That is what I am placing upon you during this season. It will naturally draw the right people closer, while gently moving others away, not through harshness, but through the natural order of what I am doing. As your life comes into alignment with what truly belongs to you, remember this as well. The people you love, the ones you constantly carry in your heart and lift before me in prayer, I have not forgotten them. My attention is not limited to you alone. I am watching over them as well. The prayers you have spoken for them have not disappeared. I have gathered every one, and I am answering them in the proper time and in the proper way. What your own efforts could never accomplish for them, I am accomplishing. Where your hands cannot reach, mine already have. Where your words could not bring change, mine still carry authority. Trust me with those you love. Leave them safely in my care, not because your love is small, but because my love for them is greater still. I am creating a way where none seems to exist. Take those words deeply into your heart, my child, because they are more than comfort. They are an announcement. There is an area of your life where every path seems blocked. You have tried every sensible approach without seeing anything open. Everything around you says there is no way forward. That is exactly the place where I work best. I do not require an existing road before I can lead you. I make the road. I open passages through what seemed impossible to move. I make what was completely sealed become open. And the path I create for you will leave no doubt. You will know you did not make it happen yourself. The gifts I have prepared along your journey are not hidden where you must wear yourself out trying to find them. I am bringing them into view. They are coming toward you. Timed moments. Unexpected opportunities. Relationships carrying exactly what you need. Resources appearing from places you never thought to look. I am not hiding from you. I am not making you search forever for what already belongs to you. During this season I am bringing it to you. What belongs to you will reach you. Your part is simply to stay open and receive without fear what I place into your hands. And through all of this, through the healing, the understanding, the new relationships, and the open paths, never forget who is making it happen. Not so you become smaller, but so your confidence is placed where it belongs. Not confidence in your own strength to control everything. Confidence in mine. The confidence that quietly says, my God is for me. He is not finished with my story. He delights in giving more than I ever imagined possible. That confidence cannot be shaken because it does not depend on appearances. It rests on who I am. And I do not change. So lift your expectations, my child. Not the anxious kind that breaks apart when answers seem delayed. The steady kind. The kind that plants a seed into cold earth fully believing spring will come. Spring is coming. The frozen ground of difficult seasons is beginning to give way. What was planted in faith during days when believing seemed impossible is now ready to rise above the surface. Prepare yourself to be amazed by what has been quietly growing where you could not see it. The light I am bringing into your life is not the kind that flashes brightly and disappears. It is the steady light of a morning that has fully begun. Each passing hour shines brighter than the one before. No darkness ahead will overcome it. Because its source is not your circumstances. Its source is me. Steady, unchanging, already shining across the entire path I have prepared before you. My child, we have traveled a long journey together. Through seasons of victory, and through seasons that seemed too difficult to bear. Whether my voice felt clear or whether you questioned if I was near, I never left you. I want that truth to settle into the deepest place within you. There has never been one moment of your life outside my sight. Not one. I have watched every hidden act of faithfulness. The kind that no one else noticed. The obedience lived in private. The kindness you offered when nobody was looking. The honest choices you made when dishonesty seemed easier. The times you chose forgiveness when holding on to pain would have been completely understandable. I saw every one of them. I have remembered each moment, and I tell you plainly, none of it escaped my notice, and none of it will go without reward. During this season, you will begin receiving the return from the quiet investments you made. Those returns will come in unexpected ways and from places you were never watching. This is also the season when many difficult chapters will begin to make sense. Not every answer will come at once. Some understanding takes time. But enough will be revealed to bring peace. Enough for you to know those painful seasons were never random. They were never punishment. They were always being used for something greater. There is a kind of understanding that only comes after the journey. When you can look back from a higher place, and finally recognize what I was doing beneath everything you could see, that understanding is coming. And when it arrives, it will bring with it a deep peace. The kind of peace that quiets the questions that still remain. I have not reached the end of your story. I want you to hear that clearly, because I know there have been moments when you believed your greatest days had already passed. If certain things did not happen the way you hoped, do not believe that your opportunities have come to an end. They have not. I am the one who holds your future, and my supply of new beginnings never runs dry. What is behind you has already passed. What is before you is still ahead, and what waits there is good. Truly and deeply good, not only as an idea, but in ways that will change your everyday life. Your circumstances will not remain the same. Your days will begin to hold more joy, more purpose, and more of what your heart has quietly longed for. Do not be afraid of the goodness that is coming toward you. I know that may sound unusual, but I say it because I know your heart. Part of you has become careful. You have learned to keep hope at a distance so disappointment will not hurt as much. That carefulness served a purpose during the difficult seasons. But now the season has changed. And if you keep holding yourself back, it will cost you something. It will keep you from fully receiving what I am giving. So let your guard begin to soften, my child. Allow yourself to hope again. Expect with confidence, and receive freely whatever I place into your hands. I am asking you to reach for my hand now. Not as a tradition, not as something religious, but as a real act of trust in this very moment. Right where you are, exactly as you are. Whether your faith feels strong or weak, whether you feel ready or completely worn out, I am not asking you to become someone else. I am asking for the real person standing before me today. Come to me like that, and I will take care of the rest. The life I am inviting you into is not difficult to understand. It is simply a life that moves with what I am doing instead of resisting it, or trying to find another way. It is a life where you stop struggling against the current and begin moving with the direction I have already set. That current always leads to good. It always has. It will carry you forward, not without purpose, but with strength and clear direction, into everything I prepared for you before your life even began. The things that wounded your heart in earlier days have not slipped from my memory. I am not asking you to act as though they never happened. I am asking you to trust that I can bring beauty out of every one of them. Because that is what I do. It has always been who I am. The deepest healing I have brought into people's lives has often begun in the places where the pain seemed beyond repair, where hope looked impossible. That has never been by accident. It is part of my nature. I move toward what is broken, not to judge it, but to restore it. And when I restore something, I restore it completely. There is something else I want you to understand about how I see time. What feels delayed to you is precise to me. The space between my promise and its fulfillment is never empty. It is filled with careful preparation, so that when what I promised finally arrives, it comes complete, lacking nothing and needing nothing added later. That is why I ask you not to decide too quickly what your waiting means. When you judge too soon with only part of the picture, you will almost always think I am doing less than I really am. You can only see a small part of what is taking shape. Many things are moving into place without your knowledge. People are being prepared far away. Situations are changing in places you have never seen. Everything is coming together. Everything is already moving. So move forward, my child. Step fully into this new season. Leave behind whatever belongs in the past. Not with anger. Not with regret. Simply recognize that it belongs to a chapter that has already ended, while you now stand at the beginning of another. Carry with you everything the journey has taught you, everything that has refined you, everything that hardship has formed inside you. Bring those things with you. They are the gift the difficult road has given you, and they will be exactly what this next season requires. I love you with a love far greater than the deepest love you have ever longed for. Even the greatest love you have received from another person has only reflected a small part of the love I have for you. During this season you will experience more of that love than ever before. Not because I love you more now than before. My love has never changed. But because your heart is becoming more able to receive it. And when my love is fully received, it changes everything it touches. Say, I receive it. If you are ready to enter everything I have prepared for you, know that these words are my voice reaching your heart, my precious child. Steady, certain, and filled with a hope that neither time nor circumstances can take away. Keep moving forward. The greatest part of your story still lies ahead. There is something I want to settle inside you today. It is a question you have carried much longer than you realize. You have wondered if you are getting this life wrong. Whether you are walking where you should be, making the right decisions, following the direction I intended for you. Many nights you have stayed awake thinking about it. You have asked yourself, if somewhere along the way you took the wrong turn, if you wandered too far from the life I planned for you. Hear my answer clearly. You have not missed it. The fear that tells you everything has been ruined, that you have gone too far to return, is not my voice. That is not how I work. I am not standing at one perfect road waiting for you to finally find it before I help you. I meet you wherever you are, and from there I lead you home. You have spent much of your life trying to solve everything on your own. That is not because something is wrong with you. It is because that is how you learned to survive. When others could not be depended on, you depended on yourself. When no one came to help, you became the helper. There is strength in that. I am not asking you to throw that strength away, but I am asking you to let it rest. You no longer have to carry every burden by yourself. The weight you have been holding was never meant to rest only on your shoulders. Put some of it down. Let me carry it with you. You will discover how much lighter life feels when you stop trying to control what has always belonged in my hands. I know there are mornings when you wake already exhausted, before anything has even happened. The kind of weariness that sleep alone cannot remove. It comes from carrying too many thoughts, turning the same worries over and over, preparing yourself for troubles that have not even arrived. My child, I want to free you from always expecting the next hardship. You have lived so long preparing for difficulty that you have forgotten what it feels like to simply receive the goodness of today. Not every day is a fight. Not every season is about surviving. Days filled with goodness are coming, and I do not want you to miss them, because your eyes remain fixed on storms that never arrive. Look closely at what is before you. Even now, some of it is already good. Now let me speak to the part of your heart that keeps comparing itself to others. You have looked at other people's lives and quietly measured your own against them. You notice what they have, where they stand, how much farther ahead they appear, and inside you a quiet sadness grows, making you wonder if something is wrong with your own journey. Do not compare yourself anymore, my child. Comparison is a snare, and it never tells you the whole truth. You only see the part of another person's story they allow others to see, and you cannot see your own life from the view that I have. If you could see it through my eyes, you would never exchange your journey for anyone else's. Your timing belongs to you. I chose it carefully, and it fits your life in ways no other person's timing ever could. What seems slow compared to someone else may be exactly the pace you need. What came quickly for another may have wounded you. Trust the timing I have chosen for you. There are relationships that have brought pain into your life, and I want to speak about them plainly. Some people you placed your trust in did not care for that trust as they should have. Some of those you loved were unable to love you as you deserved. You gave freely, yet little came back. You remained present, but they did not. Slowly you learned to expect less, to protect yourself, to hide part of your heart so it would not be hurt again. I understand why you did that. But I do not want you to spend the rest of your life living behind those walls. Not everyone will wound you the way they did. I am bringing people into your life who will treasure what you place in their hands. Do not let yesterday's disappointments decide tomorrow's expectations. And about the relationships that came to an end, the ones that still bring pain when they cross your mind, I want to give you peace. Not every ending means something failed. Some things ended because their purpose had already been fulfilled. Some people were meant to walk beside you for one season, not for your entire journey. That does not erase what they meant to you. It does not make those shared days meaningless. But it does mean you can let them go without guilt, without carrying the feeling that you should have somehow done more. You gave what you could. The ending was never yours alone to carry. Allow your heart to find peace with how it unfolded, even where your understanding is still incomplete. Now I want to speak about your body, about the tiredness that has settled deep within you. You have pushed yourself beyond what was healthy. You kept moving even when your body was asking you to slow down. You began treating rest as something you had to deserve, something earned through productivity, instead of something necessary. My child, I created you to need rest. It is not weakness. It is part of how I made you. When you refuse yourself rest, you are not proving strength. You are wearing down something precious that I created to be cared for. During this season, I am calling you into a gentler rhythm. Sleep without carrying guilt. Slow your pace without believing you are falling behind. Care well for the body I entrusted to you, because it truly matters. You will accomplish far more through healthy rest than you ever could by constantly exhausting yourself. There is a dream you have never fully shared with anyone. You keep it hidden because it feels delicate, too easily crushed by doubt or by someone else's disbelief. So you have protected it by keeping it tucked away, sometimes even from yourself. I know that dream. I was there when it first began inside you. I watched it grow, and I have watched you quietly care for it over the years, never letting it completely die, yet never fully pursuing it either. I want you to know that your dream is safe with me. More than that, it is still alive. The time is coming when you will bring it into the light, when you will begin taking real steps instead of treating it like an impossible wish. Do not be afraid to desire it. That desire is not foolish. I placed it inside you. Now let me speak about the mistakes you still carry. You hold on to some of them like heavy stones, taking them out whenever sadness comes, reminding yourself again and again of where you failed. That habit is hurting you. It is not from me. Yes, you have made mistakes. Every person has. But I do not define your life by them. I do not keep your failures stored away to remind you of them later. When something has been forgiven, it is finished. I do not return to it again. And I want you to learn to do the same. Stop picking up what I have already laid aside. The person who made those mistakes only knew what they knew then. Today you know more. You are no longer the same person. Allow that former version of yourself to rest. Forgive them just as I already have. There is a deep kindness inside you that you sometimes hide, because showing it once brought you pain. You learned that being gentle could make you vulnerable. You learned that caring openly could be taken advantage of. So you became harder on the outside. You built a shell around yourself. Yet beneath it, your kindness still remains. And it is one of the most beautiful gifts I placed within you. Do not lose it. The world does not need you to become hard. It needs you to remain tender with wisdom, to keep caring while also using good judgment instead of fear. Your gentle heart is a gift. In the season ahead, I will bring you to people and places where it is safe for that gift to be seen again. Once more I remind you that you do not have to understand everything. You place great pressure on yourself to figure out every detail, to have a plan for every part of your life, to know exactly where you are going before taking the first step. But faith has never required a complete map. It only asks you to take the next step with the light already given. You do not have to see the entire staircase. You only need to see the next step. When you take it, the next one will appear. That is how this journey has always unfolded. Not all at once. One step at a time, with enough light for each step. Trust that the light will always be there when you need it. It always has. There is also the voice inside you that constantly points out everything you believe you did wrong. I want to speak directly to that voice. It is loud. It never seems to stop. And it speaks to you in ways you would never speak to someone you truly loved. You have listened to it for so long that you have mistaken it for truth, believing it is simply an honest picture of who you are. But it is not honest. It is harsh. And harshness is never the same as truth. I want you to listen to another voice. Mine. My voice never tears you down. My voice does not keep repeating your failures or listing your weaknesses. My voice speaks with love, with patience, with kindness, and with confidence in the person you are becoming. When that cruel voice begins speaking again, recognize it for what it truly is. Then turn your attention back to the voice that genuinely seeks your good. I have watched how faithfully you have tried to do what is right, even when it required sacrifice, even when keeping your word was costly, even when showing up meant carrying responsibilities that belong to others as well as yourself. Much of that faithfulness has gone unnoticed by the people around you. It is found in the little moments, the everyday choices, the quiet decisions that no one else notices. Yet I have seen every one of them, and not a single act of your faithfulness has been in vain. It has all been preserved, collected, and kept. And in this season, you will begin to receive it back. It may not come in the exact way you imagined, but it will come in ways that show you your faithfulness was seen, that it mattered, and that it carried lasting value. You are nearer to your breakthrough than you realize. This is so often the way it happens. The moment just before everything changes can feel like the most difficult, the most uncertain, and the moment when giving up seems easiest. But I am telling you, do not give up now. What you have been waiting for is closer than you think. The ground that has seemed so dry is about to be refreshed by rain. The door that has remained shut is about to open. We run on viewer support only. For exclusive member-only content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you.